Hello dear students. Today we are going to discuss our second part of our complementary class. In the first class we studied regarding the leaf, what is the structure of a leaf, what are the different kinds of leaves and what is phyllotaxy. So now next let us pass on to venation of leaf. The pattern of veins on the surface of leaf is called venation. You know, when you look at a leaf, you can see the pattern of a particular pattern, center part sometimes a thick vein and lateral small veins. Then these are of mainly two types, parallel and reticulate. Parallel venation is usually observed in the monocot plants, that is veins runs parallel to the lamina of leaf. When you just look at your musa plant, that is your banana plant, you can see that banana leaf. Then another one is reticulate, very common type. When you just look at your shoe flower plant, take its leaf, you can see network of veins that is present in dicots. And this again classified into two types, unicostate and multicostate, that is present in both parallel and reticulate. So in parallel also unicostate venation and in reticulate also unicostate, in parallel also multicostate and reticulate also unicostate venation. So this is the picture. You can see in the first picture, this is the leaf mid vein and these are the lateral veins. This is also mid vein and number of networks. These are reticulate venation and this is pinnate venation, that is a classified belongs to reticulate venation. This is the parallel venation. You can see number of parallel veins passing throughout. These are some exceptional cases. In certain plants only you can see palmate leaves and you can see three main veins present. Okay. So reticulate is characteristic of dicot, parallel is characteristic of monocot. You should remember this always. Then what are unicostate and what are multicostate veins? If there is only one principal vein, it is known as unicostate. So only one principal vein you can see. Okay. In multicostate, there are several principal veins present. Okay. Then it is again classified into two groups, unicostate convergent, unicostate divergent. Multicostate convergent, multicostate divergent. Means convergent means veins run in a curved manner from base to apex. So starting from a curved manner, then base to apex, they will all fuse. Okay. Divergent means veins arise at base and divergent into leaf margins. Okay. If it is in the leaf margin, it's starting from here, diverge to leaf margin. But in convergent, if it is starting from here, it go like this and fuse at the apex. Okay. Then this is a picture showing different types of unicostate and multicostate. First one is unicostate parallel venation. You can see only a single principal vein. That is a feature of unicostate. Okay. This is unicostate parallel venation. Clear? Second one, you look at only a single vein. This is unicostate and this is reticulate venation. So unicostate parallel, unicostate reticulate. So unicostate means only a single principal vein. Understood? Okay. Then look here. This is a multicostate parallel vein. You can see number of veins here. Many principal veins. You cannot differentiate into a single principal vein and other, not like that. This is many principal veins. This is multicostate parallel veins. This is unicostate parallel. This is multicostate parallel. You can see the differences. Clear? Then you see this picture. This is multicostate parallel divergent. Multicostate parallel divergent. This is multicostate parallel convergent. See, starting from base and fuse at the apex. Everything move curving like this and joined here. What is present here? Starting from here but diverging at the margins. Clear? It's not going to touch a point. It is diverging all the veins. So this is multicostate parallel divergent. This is multicostate parallel convergent. Understood? Then what is this? Multicostate reticulate divergent. This is reticulate venation. You can see. Good. This is multicostate and divergent reticulate. Clear? This is what? Multicostate reticulate divergent. this is divergent and this is convergent. That is starting from base and going and finally fusing. This is multicostate because of different principal veins going like this and join together at the apex, that is convergent, and this is spreading on different sides of the margins, that is divergent. So, multicostate, convergent, multicostate, divergent. Okay. So, these are the four. You do not forget, in both parallel and reticulate there are unicostate as well as multicostate veins. They may be convergent or they may be divergent. Convergent means they curved and point at the apex. Divergent means they spread to the margins. Unicostate means single principal vein. Multicostate means many principal vein. Clear? Okay. Now, so up to this we finished our first half, that is leaves. So, what is a leaf? What is the structure of leaf? What are the types of leaves? Then what is phyllotaxy? What is venation? What are the types of venation? Clear? Okay. I hope first half is clear to you. Okay. Now, next and very important part is flowers. You know, everybody is enjoying the beauty of flower. Okay. When you see a beautiful flower, you just look at it. You will explain its colors, so its shape, its size in different way. Okay. So, it gives us pleasure when you looking into a colorful flower. Okay. So, flower is actually a creation of our nature, a wonderful creation of our nature. Because of the flower, we can have fruits, seeds. That's why we are living in this earth. Am I correct? Okay. So, flowers are very, very, very important. Okay. You can see the varieties of flower, diverse flowers. When you going to different places, you can see different types of flowers occurring all over the world. So, actually, what is a flower? So, when you look at into a flower, you explain it as a reproductive part. That already you know in your lower classes itself you studied. A flower is a reproductive part of a plant. But from the botanical aspects, you have to describe it another way. That is, a flower is a modified condensed shoot. Actually, it is a shoot. But in the shoot, you can have a stem, leaf, etc. But flower, it is a modified form of a shoot with a stem, with a leaf, etc. But that is in different way. So, flowers having floral leaves instead of vegetative leaves. Clear? The floral leaves, you know, the colored part of the flower, petals, sepals, etc. That is called as floral leaves. Clear? So, flower is a modification of a vegetation leaves. Then, what are the parts of a typical flower? You can see here the picture of a typical flower. This is cut open the flower. Just you look at it. The first we observe this beautiful colored portion. This is petals, and the basal green colored portion is the sepal, and these some portions you can see when pollen grains, when you touch in your hand, it will pollen grains, you can feel the pollen grains. That is the stamens of the flower, and the centermost part, this is the stigma of the flower. Okay. So, anyway, it is classified into 4 different parts, 2 essential whorls and 2 non-essential whorls. Non-essential whorls are calyx and corolla. Okay. Essential whorls are androecium and gynoecium. This is corolla. The part of the corolla is petal, part of the calyx is sepal. So, basal green colored is calyx, colored portion is corolla. The calyx having units known as sepals, corolla having units known as petals. Then, male reproductive part and female reproductive part, that are the essential whorls. Male reproductive part is called androecium, female reproductive part is called gynoecium. Clear? Okay. Androecium is having 3 parts, like the unit is called stamens, stamen having anther and filament. You look at, this is an androecium, this long structure, it having anther, it having filament. Here you look at, this is the androecium, this is the anther, this is the filament. Understood? Then About the female structure gynoecium, it is also called pistil or carpel, etc. Okay, it has three important parts. This is the basal portion, that is known as ovary, and this is the style, and this is the stigma. Clear? Here see, this is the ovary. Inside ovary what is present? Ovules present. This is the style and this is the stigma. Clear? In this stigma, insects sit and pollen grains spread here. Understood? Okay. Then this is the ovule. When an ovary become fruit, this ovule becomes seeds. Am I correct? Okay. So, this is the female reproductive part, gynoecium. This is the male reproductive part, androecium. Okay. Then at the base you can see the part where a flower, flower stands, the basal cup-like structure, that is known as the receptacle of the receptacle, and the stalk of a flower is known as pedicel. Clear? So, once again I will conclude it. Stalk of a flower is pedicel, the cup-like structure is thalamus. Okay. So, the outer wall is calyx, unit is sepal, that is green. Next wall is corolla, unit is petal, that is colored. In some cases, there is no calyx and corolla differentiated. You cannot differentiate into. Such case, you can call it as perianth. Understood? Okay. Then male part is androecium, female part is gynoecium. Okay. Androecium contains stamens. Stamens having three parts, filaments, anthers, and inside anthers pollen grains. Gynoecium also known as pistil, composed of carpels, having ovary, style and stigma. Okay. So, once again a picture for clear understanding. Stigma, style, then ovary basal portion, then anthers. Okay. So, look at what is the organization of a flower in a plant. So, this is the basal portion, this is the stalk of a flower, that is known as pedicel. This is the flower. Then below the pedicel, in most cases you can see small leaf-like structure, that is known as bracts. In some plants there are number of bracts, then you can call it as involucre. Okay. Then if a flower occur in cluster, then you will call it as inflorescence. If a flower occur in cluster, you call it as inflorescence. Then there you can call the stalk of the inflorescence as peduncle. Okay, that we will discuss in the next classes. So now you just look at here, stalk of a flower is pedicel. From the basal part you can see leaf-like structure, bract, and upper portion flower. Clear? Now based on the position of the floral warts, in your syllabus there is that based on the position you have to classify the flowers. Okay. So, above the attachment of petals, sepals and stamens, ovary is present. That ovary is called superior ovary. So, how you can understand this? You have to just cut open the flower first. This is a flower cut open structure. So, see, this is our sepal green colored. This colored is our petal. This is our stamens and this is our gynoecium. Understood? So, see here, this is the ovary. You can see the origin of stamens below the ovary. Clear? Origin of petals below the ovary. Origin of sepals below the ovary. All parts arises below the ovary or below the gynoecium. Such condition is known as hypogynous flower. Okay. So, based on the position, there are three categories. First one is hypogynous. What is hypogynous flower? All the parts like sepals, petals and androecium or stamens arises below the ovary. Clear? So, the position of ovary is superior. All others are inferior. Ovary matram mele. This is called hypogynous condition. Clear? Okay. Now, next condition you look at here. Here the cup-like structure is a receptacle or otherwise called hypanthium. All the parts where floral parts are arranged. Here see, you cannot say this is superior or inferior because half portion is up to this mark and half portion is down, gynoecium. Corolla at this junction, calyx at this junction, stamen at this junction. So you cannot say the ovary is superior or inferior. You can say it is half inferior or half superior. In such cases, you will call the flower as perigynous flower. Means petals, sepals, stamens are on the rim of hypantheum. This is known as rim of hypantheum. You can call it as half superior, half inferior position. Clear? Okay. Now move on to the third session, that is epigynous condition. See what you can see here. Position of ovary at the lower part. Clear? All other parts arises above the ovary. So what is the condition of ovary? Ovary is inferior. So in such cases, petals, sepals, stamens, everything above the ovary, that is known as in epigynous condition. See, petals, sepals, stamens attached at the top of the ovary. Position of ovary is inferior. Clear? Okay. So this is our epigynous condition. Another epigynous condition here at the rim of hypantheum. This is the rim of hypantheum. So for comparing, you won't be confused with the inferior ovary. See, while looking this, you will say this is inferior, this is not inferior ovary. Why not inferior ovary? You have to consider this hypantheum. Okay, this is attached to the hypantheum. So this is not inferior. So this case is also observing. That's why I given this picture also. So let me conclude. Based on the position, there are hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. In hypogynous, position of ovary is superior. In epigynous, position of ovary is inferior. In perigynous, position of ovary is half superior or half inferior. Clear? So superior position means ovary at the top, all others below. Inferior position means ovary at the base, all other above. So this is a question usually arises for the examination based on the position, how you can classify the flowers. Clear? Okay. So let me conclude here what I told today in this class. Just conclude. First part, the leaf venation, its types, reticulate, parallel, unicostate, multicostate, its convergent and divergent types. Flower, what is a flower? Flower is a modified shoot. What is the structure of a typical flower? What are the four parts? Then how can you divide a flower? How can you differentiate a flower based on the position of ovary? So that much for today. So have a nice day. Thank you.